The F125 game just came out and you obviously wonder what are the best settings to use on this Formula 1 game. Today I will be sharing my settings I will be using for this game and you can copy them if you want to be prepared as best as possible and maybe beat your mates. So as you can see, we are on the game and we obviously gonna head straight into settings. My assist is more personal preference, but we have to drive on the elite settings. Then first of all, on screen display, it is pretty straightforward. I think the only thing I changed is that I want a full track map to obviously see where everyone is instead of just myself. Proximity arrows are obviously on. Driver tags, I put them off simply because you can see in the top left where the other guys are driving as well. So you don't need to see it on the cars as well. And sometimes the names, the driver tags can cover the braking marks. Or breaking points, whatever you're using, and cover a bit of your screen. So I found it more distracting, so that's why I always put them off. And I put permanent session timer on, so you always know how much time there's left in qualifying instead of just the final 5 minutes, I think it is usually. Then we're gonna head into the force feedback settings. Also very important, obviously, for everyone. I feel like especially these three, don't have to use them at all. Force feedback, you have to stay, I think maybe below 70 for the wheel to not start clipping and your force feedback to be best as possible. So I might actually have to lower it down as well. On track effects on 10, so you can still feel a tiny bit of the bumps on track a little bit better. I have never used any of these on any Formula 1 game. I don't think anyone on especially esports level guys have never used it either. The wheel damper is pretty normal to keep that on 1. It just feels better. It's just better. Maximum wheel rotation, I use 320. Depends what your driving style is, what you prefer. If you're more into like realistic driving, just use 360. Then it's the exact same as what you put as input. If you want to turn a bit quicker from left to right and be more aggressive, and go lower, because then whenever you turn 90 degrees with your wheel, it's probably like 100 and something degrees on the game. So you can be more aggressive if you put them lower down. So you can try play around with that. I'm using 320 at least. I think most guys are between 300, 320-ish. Then calibration, pretty straightforward. Just put everything on 0. You can put some dead zones if you want. Ideally, you put your dead zones in your control panel. So with Fanatec control panel, you can put your dead zones. But if you can't do that, then you can maybe do it here. But I always try to avoid this as much as I can. Then we're gonna have a look at the graphic settings, and this is a very important one. Last game there were some ways to go quicker when you change some stuff in here, apparently. But for now I'm using high on the preset, and I think the only thing I've changed so far was shadows. Put it on low, made the quality of my recordings a little bit better while driving, so that's the only reason I put that lower. Other than that, just keep it on high. I still reach a good amount of FPS, so why not? Then video mode, resolution as high as you can because it just looks better. The frame limit off. There has been some stuff around 60 FPS using past few games. That was indeed better. I'm pretty sure on this game that's sorted, so you can run whatever FPS you want and you always have the same pace whether you go 20 FPS or 200. So yeah, you can just turn that off, I feel like. Or if you want it to be consistent, then you can put a frame limit and then on the maximum of what your monitor can go, or 120-ish. Should be alright. And anisotropic filtering 16x should be alright. Not sure what it does. Yeah, I think this is pretty straightforward. You can change some stuff in here. It might look a little bit different, but it's not gonna do much. I feel like this looks the best. Audio settings, I always go a bit lower on the master volume just so I can have a bigger difference in the sounds I want to hear and what I cannot. Because if I just put this on maximum, then it might be a bit too much. Effects on 10, speech on 6. I'm pretty sure that's your engineer speaking. You want to hear them, but he shouldn't be screaming and you get distracted by it. So don't put it too loud. Music on 1, usually I'm listening to my own music anyway when I'm driving, so don't really need to put that. Or if you actually enjoy it, put it on the maximum. get the vibes in, you know, enjoy your time before driving. The volume of my car, I put that a bit lower, and then the sound of the cars around me higher, so I know a bit better where everyone is. Yeah, I feel like that just for your awareness, it helps quite a bit. So yeah, try that if you want. Then broadcast, onboard mix, I feel like that sounds the best. Especially driver is really bad actually. Sounds really bad. It's probably realistic if you would use cockpit cam, but I don't like the sound. So that's why you use broadcast. Yeah, these settings are pretty straightforward. I saw 3D audio. I haven't tried it myself, but if you have a headset or a sound system that supports this, definitely give it a go, because I feel like that would be pretty sick. So whenever a car is like next to you or you're going to overtake someone, you can actually hear the car on that side as well. That would be pretty cool. Push to talk, I put it on just to make sure no one can ever hear me in the lobby. And I unbind the push to talk button as well. Then mute by default, because I don't want to hear people talking while I'm driving. And radio is an interesting one as well. I think this is what is usually on everything. So engineers keeps talking, but it's not always useful. So I always put on critical. So if there's actually something important, then he can talk. Other than that, he can just stay quiet. So yeah. And then the only thing that's left is the camera settings, I believe. These are my camera settings. I will be driving soon as well, but these are the camera settings I'm using, and that will look on an Aston Martin car at least like this. So especially if you're an Aston Martin fan, as you should, I feel like these camera settings look really good, really nice. Also, this is my on-screen display, so where I position everything, usually the telemetry stuff on the halo, so the proximity arrows of the cars around me move below that, so it's never covered. The proximity arrows are never covered behind the telemetry. I always want to have a good look at my wheel. I don't know, it's just kind of a mental thing, I think. But yeah, I think that's it for everything, to be fair. Not much else to show. What am I missing? You guys can't have my IP address, fortunately, on telemetry settings. So yeah, I think that's it. Hopefully you guys find it useful. Let me know if it works for you. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.